Welcome to the show, everybody. It is Tuesday. It is Back to the Window with Scott and Scott, and I am your host, Scott Steen, lead handicapper at winnersandwhiners.com.
And I'm your co-host, Scott Reichel, senior handicapper over winnersandwhiners.com.
And together we do this each and every day right here on the Max Wagers Network and the Winners and Whiners YouTube channel as well. Back to the Window with Scott and Scott every day, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. In case you were wondering, today's Torture Reichel song, Tennessee Plates by John Hyatt. Scott, did you ever heard that song before?
No.
You know who John Hyatt is?
The singer of Tennessee Plates.
Very good. The one song you might have heard, Have a Little Faith in Me, you know that song?
No.
Good chat. All right.
Yep.
All right. So it's good to be here, guys. Skeeter, you excited about the NBA playoffs sort of starting up tonight?
Excited's one word. Nervous is another because my team's actually involved. But we're going to talk about both games, of course, for this show.
What?
Yeah, I know. Crazy, right? I'm nervous about it. The Nets should win. Covering a separate story. We'll get to that later. But I'm expecting the Nets to win. However, we talked about before we went on air, Cleveland's being extremely disrespected here. I know that they were awful down the stretch and that Jared Allen's still injured. When the media is talking about the Nets versus the Celtics, but they only play the Celtics after they win this game, you'd think they would wait until the game was over before they started talking about first-round series matchups, don't you think?
Man, that's a pretty that's chewing your cud before. No, that's not. That's chewing your cud twice. You're counting chickens, of course, before they're hatched. But yeah. That's not good. Not good at all.
Now, the Nets could be fully focused for this game, but if you needed bulletin board material, you don't really need it at this point, but if you did, Cleveland could just look to anywhere because in the media because nobody's picking them to win.
Yep, totally agree. Good to see Peter Wolf in the house. What's up, Peter? Good to have you here, man. Yeah, when I did my video last night, they were asking me about this game, Scott, and I started off taking Cleveland, and I basically talked myself out of it with Kyrie back for the home game, and of course still missing Jared Allen. I thought that tipped it just a little bit. I was right on the cusp, taking the Nets minus the 8, but it's gone to 9.5 now. I'm not getting involved in 9.5.
I personally think it's a bit too large. I understand the idea behind fading the inexperienced team, backing Durant and Kyrie and this whole squad, but the Nets have been ridiculously terrible against the spread, especially at home.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not about winning, it's about winning by margin. The Nets don't give a damn how much they win by. So it's not like they're going to be incentivized to run it up late, but I've seen the Nets come out constantly flat in the third quarter, and Cleveland, since they have really just nothing to lose at this point because no one's picking them to win, I do think playing freer is going to help, and they just played a week ago, and the game was pretty close.
Yep.
So do I want to lay 9.5 with the Nets after what I saw all season long? Of course not.
Yep, I get that. Paul Henshaw is a trendsetter. He says hit the like button, and I agree. Hit that like button, everybody. Make sure that you just smash that thumb. We appreciate it. Get subscribed to the channel if you haven't done so already. You know, both the Winners and Whiners YouTube channel and the Max Wagers YouTube channel as well. Check out all the great offerings. Max Wagers Network. In fact, we have they usually stop by. At least one of them will stop by during the show, say hey, and that's very cool. But of course, Sean Higgs, Midday Money at noon. Allie Burns doing her Total Chaos at doing Morning Wood every day at 1, and then she does Total Chaos most evenings, followed by Just Parlays with Jim and Chris, you and me at 3, and going to be Sean Miller here coming pretty quick, right, Scott, at 4?
When he's busy not coaching Xavier.
There you go. Thank you. And he's going to be our new soccer expert, so that'll be fun because I know we've got a lot of guys that do bet on the footy. And then, of course, bringing up the rear, hitting the cleanup is Game Time Decision with Sean, with Nick and Tim Earl, and of course Detroit Lenny. So there you go. JC Stone in the house. What up, JC? Good to see you, man. I always give extra credit to these guys that like stop by when I'm shooting my video early in the morning or late at night, whatever the case may be. And then are here for ours as well. That's some commitment, man. We appreciate it, JC.
The differential between your video length and my video length is growing by the day. I think you did a decent job yesterday, though. I think it was like 9 minutes.
Yeah, well, we had one the other day that like I had no, and I think it was Saturday night. Like, maybe it was either Friday or Saturday where I was like expecting a bunch of people there, and like nobody showed up. So yeah, hope you guys banned that guy from yesterday. His girl gave him.
The X Hex, man. The X Hex too strong.
Oh yeah, the X Hex,
Yeah.
man. That was
And that was really an ultimate hex game because it
it
looked
was.
so good for about 90% of the game.
We were goddamn geniuses for 8 of those 9 innings, man.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in one of these segments coming up. But
Yep.
I mean, you all know what the play was. You could not really have asked for a better situation getting plus 140.
I blame the chick. Absolutely do.
Yeah.
Absolutely do. All right, so we'll get started. Oh yeah, hey, any guys in the KC area, anybody going to the Santana concert tonight? I will be there. I will be seeing Carlos Santana, age 70. He's 73. He'll be 74 in June. So
Nice.
yeah, I know we got some KC people out there. Hopefully, if anybody's going to the show, hit me up on Twitter, and yeah, I'll buy you a beer or something. So there you go. Scott, we got a couple great promotions going on here at the Max Wagers Network. First of all, we talked a little bit about it yesterday. Got DraftKings going. You just in time for the baseball season. You bet $5 on any baseball money line, and you get yourself $200 in free bets. That's pretty cool. You have to be physically located somewhere where DraftKings is: Arizona, Colorado, Connecticut, Iowa, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, Wyoming, or West Virginia. And you also must be 21 to play, except for there's 2 states where you don't have to be 21, you have to be 18. One of them's Wyoming. Scott, do you know the other one?
No, sorry.
I don't either. I just read it and I can't remember what it was, but there's 2 states where you only have to be 18. But you have to be a legal age in your state, of course. You use the promo code WAW video. The link is in the description of the video. And of course, we're still doing our Caesars Sportsbook thing just in time for the NBA playoffs to get started. $1,100 first bet insurance. You make a first time wager up to $1,100. And if you don't win it, you get it back in the form of a free bet. Same amount, promo code ATSWINSCZR. That's ATS wins Caesar SZR. The link is also in the description for today's video. So there you go. Big X in the house. James Mounts is here as well. So yeah, good to see you guys. Of course, Scott, we got a lot to talk about today. So before we can talk about the future, we got to talk a little bit about the past. So yeah, let's do that. Let's just unleash it, Scott. Let's find out who you were, the winners, the whiners, the people that took it in the shorts, and the people that took it to the bank. Stand up, be proud. You took some beats yesterday. Let's call the cops. All righty, we'll fire it up in the Mets money line against the Phillies. She put my hat on backwards for this one. Mets pitching, getting it done. They led 4-0 entering the 8th inning. Mets bullpen not getting it done. Phillies scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 8th. Mets end up losing 5-4. Holy shit, Scott. That was just a beautiful play at 7-5, getting plus 140 on that money. Great play until it wasn't. Call the cops.
And looking at baseball once again, if you had the Rockies and Rangers under 9.5, you had 7 runs. It was 4-3 entering the bottom of the 9th. 2 outs, nobody on base. Pinch hit home run with 2 outs. You're going to extras. And the Rockies won 6-4 after the 10th inning. I believe that means we have our first official total beat with extra innings this season.
Yeah, Bronco Devil checked in with when I was shooting the video last night and said that he had the over there and felt very fortunate. He had 10. He felt very fortunate to get a push. So
yeah, that's a push win.
Yeah, that is a push win. Absolutely correct. And bringing it on home in a game that I had as my personal play. I had the wrong side of this. If you were on the Twins, team total over 4.5 going up against Chris Flexen. They had 4 runs in the first 5 innings, and that was going to do it because the Seattle bullpen did a good job. A little bit too late, barn door. Twins ended up winning that one 4-0 as the Mariners got nothing going offensively.
2 hits.
2 hits.
Not good.
Not good at all, my friend. Well, there was some good news. There were some people that had a nice, easy time of it. You didn't have to sweat. You didn't have to worry about the fourth quarter. You didn't have to worry about extra innings. None of that bullshit because why? You were sitting in the rocket chair.
So the first one involves my Yankees, and if you had the team total under 4.5 against Manoah, well, you were a genius because the Yankees had never hit Manoah, and they didn't hit him again last night. They only had 4 hits in the entire game. They didn't score a single run. So team total under 4.5, never in doubt.
Scott, if you had the Oakland Athletics, they made us look like geniuses first 2 days of the season as they were non-competitive. However, they found a little mojo here last couple of games, and if you had them yesterday against the Rays, well, they led 8-0 after 2 innings, and they end up winning 13-2. How about that Rays pitching, Scott?
Well, Patino was supposed to pitch, and he got injured, I believe, in the first inning. And it was a scramble from there, but the game was already over.
Brutal. All right.
And the last one in baseball, if you had the Brewers and the Orioles under 9.5, you had 2 runs in the second inning and no runs in the other 8 innings. The game ended 2-0.
Man, Orioles winning games, A's winning games, Pirates beat St. Louis the other day. What the hell's the matter with the world, Scott?
A lot, apparently. I don't know.
What are we doing here?
I didn't know Bundy, though, was going to turn into an AL Cy Young candidate. That was the most surprising part. I mean, I had the over. The weather was going to go well. I expected Flexen to regress a little bit. Minnesota had good numbers against him. He didn't pitch great. He was okay. I mean, the 2 runners left on base were charged to him, but he was okay. But Bundy just was dealing, and the Mariners just couldn't hit.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
Dylan Bundy dealing. Not a phrase you've heard very much in the last 3 years.
James, to answer that question of who do I know there, I also work there, so I know basically everybody. So there you go.
Where?
One of the other networks that I work for.
Okay, there you go. Somebody asking about the Kings tonight. Yeah, Bronco Devil said, push in the bush.
You'll take it.
I don't even know what that means, but it's funny as shit. Look at that. Somebody's liking us on Facebook. Hey, appreciate it, guys. Where's those Kings? Where's the Kings, guys? Playing tonight? Or was that last night?
About against the Blackhawks?
Yeah.
That is...
Oh, I got it.
It's tonight.
Yeah, it's tonight. Yeah. Kings laying 145.
I mean, the Blackhawks are terrible, but to go through the injury report, the Kings lost their best defenseman yesterday because Drew Doughty's officially been ruled out for the rest of the season. Doesn't mean much, not really, because, both teams aren't exactly... Well, the Kings are a playoff team right now, actually, but as a whole, Chicago is really just playing for nothing at this point. Chicago is also in the middle of a massive losing streak. To go through how big of a losing streak, it's not good. They have lost. Let me just do the math real quick. They've lost 7 in a row.
So 7 in a row, and they're giving up about 4.7 goals per game in that stretch.
Yeah, fun fact though, the last one they had against the Kings. But yep. I'm gonna go with the Kings there. They're a playoff team, which was definitely surprising because a lot of people expected them to continue their rebuild. Losing Doughty is definitely a bigger deal than. It's a big deal. I mean, there's no way around it. He's not the guy he used to be, but he's still pretty good. I have to question motivation. We talk about it in other sports, especially at the end of the regular season. Chicago's better off losing games at this point just because they can get a better draft pick potentially in the lottery. So I'm going to go with the Kings because they're still playing for something.
Yeah.
You?
Yeah, I don't like laying that much wood.
It's not great, but I got to look at motivation. The fact that the Kings are only 2 points ahead of the Golden Knights for that 3rd spot in the Pacific. The Kings kind of need it.
Yeah, they absolutely
I'll go with them for the motivation.
All right, fair enough.
Maybe in regulation, if you want to cut into that juice.
Okay, all right.
You can probably get plus money on that, right?
I would think so, yeah. I would think you would be around plus 110.
105, 110?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Peter Wolf said his girlfriend screwed all of MLB. What a shit day.
Well, that was the thing, though. It was one of those days where I was torn between 2 plays for play of the day.
Yeah.
And both of them were not even close. So it was kind of just like, all right, whatever. It was going to be that or the Brewers. But then I looked at the Brewers' numbers against lefties. Atrocious.
Yep.
And shockingly, they did not score yesterday.
Yep.
So, yeah, it was just a bad day in sports, but I was waiting for basketball. And I feel like all of us kind of were, right?
Yeah, well, that was like the day before when I had the when I had the parlay fading the A's and the Pirates, and they both win easily. I'm like, okay, fuck that. The girl, I love it when it's a situation where we lose and they don't blame us, Scott.
We can't. I mean, we had this discussion going in. The only way you can make it right is to buy her a gift. You have to buy her a parlay. So she roots for you to actually pick winners. It's the only way around it.
That's it. And well, you got to get back with her.
Unless you get back together with her,
Yeah, you got to get back together. That's I'm sure she's an awful human being. Anybody that would do that, I'm just going to say, isn't great. But you got to take one for.
Can you hand her like an Uno reverse card and like give her the jinx? Like, can you do something like that? I don't know the rules.
Seems like relievers pretty much determine outcomes at MLB. Can't bet the insanity. Would you say that the first 5 bets are more consistent? I certainly would at this point in the season.
Well, for this year, yeah. I mentioned one of my early takeaways in the MLB season from Garrett Cole's opening start with the Yankees was that because of the limited spring training, a lot of these starters are going fewer and fewer innings, which is why you've seen a lot of strikeout props at 3.5.
Yep.
Or pretty low numbers. It's because they're usually topping out at 5 innings.
Very consistent to say that most of the starters had 2 to 3 starts, 10 innings or less in spring training.
Give or take. I know Flexen had 4 appearances. None of them were good, but some pitchers have had 4. Most have been around 2 or 3. And even that, you're going, what, like 2-3 innings apiece there?
Yeah.
It's not that much of a workload.
No. Ninja said, did anyone hear of this one parlay this person did? I think it was Saturday or Sunday games, not sure, but $50, 14-team parlay, all under in baseball games, cashed out $265.
That's the dream.
I did not hear that.
I have noticed, though, from the opening day that there has been a lot of lower scoring games. So I was hoping that they would be juicing baseballs. You'd see more high scoring games. Hasn't been that way. And a lot of games have been, excluding the Guardians games the last couple of days, a lot of games have been low scoring.
Yep. Glad to see the light bulbs changed.
Yeah, I got bad news for you. I did not even change the light bulb. So
you got more ambient light? Is the sun out?
No, I don't even know. It just
you were definitely living in the shadows yesterday.
I'm glowing. It's my aura.
All right,
it's helping out.
All right, J.R. Blake said she hexted him with all his affiliates.
I wish I had affiliates. That's all I'm saying.
You're not dating anybody.
As of right now, no.
Maybe we could. Maybe you could swipe right on her.
So I can break up with her and she could put the hex on me? Absolutely not.
Well, you can't break up with her. That's the thing.
That's the problem,
Or don't let her know you're a sports bettor.
Nah. It's my job. I mean, come on. That's what I do.
Our odds makers on top of the first 5 inning bets.
Define on top of, because it really comes down to...
I've seen the total shaded down a little bit.
Yeah. Normally
you're going to be able to split it in half, add a half a run.
Mm-hmm.
But I see a lot of true splits for the first 5 innings, which is kind of unusual.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It comes down to what exactly you look for in first 5s, because for the overall start of the season, the much better teams are not favored by as much now as they will be at the end of the year. So you see the Dodgers against the Rockies, for example.
Yeah, like minus
the Rays against the A's.
Right.
Like the Rays are minus 210. If they're playing in September, they'd be minus 330.
Yep.
So it really comes down to when they're facing off during the course of the season. But since it's still early on, you don't exactly know what to expect from each team. You don't really know how you should be pricing the huge talent disparities, because it's kind of a box of chocolates right now, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it absolutely is. Rachel is dating a sports book with Twitter on the side.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not a bad call,
No, it's not.
Now the secret is you go out with one of the tellers at the sports book. So whenever you talk to her, you're placing your action. Right?
Killing 2 birds with one stone.
2 birds, 1 stone. You save a lot of time that way.
Did the green shirt come through again?
It did not. My Sports Bureau jinxed the hell out of
me. Cleveland versus Cincinnati, scoreless first inning. Sure, why not? Well, we know Cleveland, in spite of their offensive outburst against the Royals the last couple of days,
the lineup still sucks.
That's still a horrible fucking offense. If you,
I got a shout out to Quan though, who's batting .692. I don't know what the hell he's on, but
I want to say he reached base 10 or 12 straight times against the Royals.
I think he did. I think they said he reached base 12 times. I think it was like 9 straight, but he's batting close to 700 as a rookie. I know his rookie of the year odds have plummeted, rightfully so. But, you're batting 692.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
It is pretty good. JC Stone says, you're smart to stay away from the opposite sex. Bad luck and trouble. Wow. Okay. So that may not be a universal opinion of the opposite sex.
It might not be. In fact, if that was universal opinion, there wouldn't be any people left in the world. But,
right.
Long term, it's not a positive EV play. But short term, I'm chilling, doing my thing.
The force is strong with her. Kill the green shirt, not the fucking green shirt. Excuse me. Calvin, keeping us on track here, says Bieber versus Molly should be no runs in the first. I'd
agree with that.
I'd be curious. What's the nerfy on that? Like 150?
I like how you picked up the lingo. No, I think that's too high. I'm looking at it right. I'm looking up right now. If I had to guess, I would say 135.
It's getting 135.
If I had to guess, 155 sounds like what you'd get between Bieber and like Scherzer. Like that sounds a little bit high.
Okay.
No score first inning is. Let me see. I have teams to score in the first inning, which doesn't help me at all. Thanks a lot.
Under a half.
Yeah, I see minus 130.
Okay, there you go.
So I said 135, close enough.
Michael Doe says you're moving to Brooklyn, can't afford women. That's no shit.
It's not a matter of moving to Brooklyn. It's a matter of the fact that I just paid my taxes. You have that moment where you finally pay taxes, and for the next couple of days you have a rollover effect where you don't feel like spending any money.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, of course. You
Absolutely.
just hand out a couple thousand to the government, and it's just suddenly I don't exactly want to go out to eat for a couple of days. I gotta mourn over the lost money I gave to the government.
James Mountain said "Soul of a Woman" was created below. What song is that from, Scott? Also a movie, a famous movie of the same name.
I actually can't even recall that.
Been dazed and confused for so long, it's not true. Wanted a woman, never bargained for you.
You're a big fan of that movie, right?
Dazed and Confused? Yeah, that's exactly my it's my story to the year. Mm-hmm. So yeah, a lot of things in Dazed and Confused hit home. Yeah, absolutely, Scott. That's can't afford women no matter. Hi guys, welcome to Incel Chat here. You do. I just feel like some of the guys have been burned out there. It's sure
a lot of people have. I got burned by Bundy yesterday. You think I'm getting back on the horse? No, of course not.
You're not going to fade Bundy again?
I can't. I can't look at him the same way anymore, right?
Yep. Well,
at least in the immediate future, we'll figure it out. I mean, some players in any sport, they're bad, and then you fade them, and they're always good. So at some point, you just can't keep fading them. It's like they're listening.
Agreed.
Joe Adele, by the way, huge listener of the show.
Big fan of the show.
What do you have? He had a double and a home run yesterday?
Yeah, he killed it.
So I'm saying he was great.
Total bases over 5.5. He made some money.
Yeah.
One of the great Leb Zepp songs of all time. Yep, I agree. Rick Zeff must have gotten out my own chat line, probably banned or something. I don't know. I don't. Well, I've not banned you.
No, you're still there.
Yep. You're still there, but
we're reading it, so you're still there.
I don't know, and I don't know where the carrot went. Somebody was asking about the carrot. I don't know if they because I know YouTube is.
I mean, spring's around the corner, so you figure the carrots are going to be growing at some point.
Maybe he's out for Easter. I don't know. I just know that because usually YouTube will fuck with him, and then he'll be back with a different name the next day. So when I saw him disappear for a day or two, I just figured he'd be back with a new name. So.
There's really not a lot of transparency when it comes to sites policing activity, just because there's guidelines that nobody reads. You can interpret anything the way you want. Especially in today's climate with PC culture, I feel like a lot of people get suspended from Twitter or stuff for what seems to be relatively innocent content. You know what I mean?
It's weird.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of overreactions when it comes to
everything,
banning or whatever in various platforms.
Oh,
yeah. In my experience, at least.
Yeah. Let's just turn this into a whole political thing.
I'm not going to go full political. I'm just saying. It's just what I've noticed.
I agree. Tomb Dog in the house. What up, Tomb Dog? Long time no see. Good to have Ian here. Orioles can't name a starter for today. Does it matter?
Well, they all suck besides Means, so you can throw somebody out there. They won yesterday though.
That's right.
So,
there is one thing I wanted to talk about here because we haven't done this in a while, and this is a good one, and we can put a little bow on their season with this, Scott. Let's get out the golden feed bag, get the dust off the golden feed bag and award it. It's a good day for this. Let's find out who it is, Scott. Who is today's donkey of the day? All right, I'm going to let you take this one because I know you are a big fan of this offseason signing, and you owe yourself a victory lap of I told you so proportion. So go right ahead, sir.
So the Lakers, of course, during the offseason ended up trading for Russell Westbrook, and let's just say it didn't work out. They missed the playoffs. Westbrook was a disaster for the majority of the season, and they had their official going away press conference. I'm not sure if every team does this or if it's just the Lakers because they're popular. But the point is, they had LeBron, they had Anthony Davis, they had Westbrook individually answering questions from the media, and they asked Westbrook what his thoughts were about Vogel, because Vogel just got fired yesterday. And Westbrook basically said that he does not understand why Vogel had an issue with him throughout the course of the season and why he didn't feel like he received a fair shake of things. Maybe it's because he sucked.
Didn't they say he didn't let him play his game?
Yeah, didn't let him play his game, seemed to be out to get him. Maybe it's because you sucked for about 90% of the year. Maybe. I don't want to read into things, but when you've had more turnovers than made jump shots during an entire season, that's a bit of a red flag, isn't it?
That's not true. Is it really? Is that true? Is that accurate?
From what I saw around Twitter with some various sources, it does seem to be true. I believe he had more turnovers than made jump shots in the entire season. That's not good. And it wasn't even close. It might have been 50 more turnovers.
I saw it even close. That's brutal.
But that's the point. Now, Westbrook for the last month or so was better, and he was durable. He was really the only guy on the team that actually played a decent portion of the games. But I think Westbrook, whether or not you like him as a player or not, mentally, I think he's the most delusional player in the league. And you were looking at his press conferences throughout the entire season, how he was arguing with reporters who were asking him legitimate questions for the majority of the season. But Westbrook just seemed so out of touch the entire season when dealing with adversity, and now blaming the coach who your team just fired and claiming that you don't know why he was out to get you, instead of simply acknowledging that you were awful the entire season, is really the cherry on top for me. I just think that he has no self-awareness, and that's become increasingly clear as the season has progressed. You have anything you want to add on that?
You said a lot, although I will say, when you call Russell Westbrook the most delusional player in the NBA, you have to remember that Kyrie Irving thinks the earth is flat. So
I know he did.
You've set the bar pretty high there.
But even Kyrie press conferences, at least he can address things
I agree.
That people ask.
Yes, he's living in this reality.
Westbrook spent half the time turning questions on the reporters, and they were fair questions.
If they'd just let me shoot more threes.
Yeah, it's just what are you talking about?
John Wagner says, our promo music literally sucks. Keep it at the Steamroller House. Is that you talking about our stuff going into the show? I don't know.
You talking about that, or is he talking about the donkey?
I don't know. It could be the donkey.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
The donkey's not music. I mean, it might be to some people, but
you guys should have listened to us on our radio days when they just let us use.
When we had actual music we could play.
Yeah, we were playing whatever we wanted. It was a lot of fun. Peter Wolf says what a lot of us are thinking, Scott. If the chick is crazy, it means the sex is terrific. So you got to take one for the team. Yes.
I mean, it depends if you'd rather have good sex or good parlays. It's a trade-off that a lot of people might choose parlays for. I don't know. You got to make a living, man. I don't know.
There's no reason you can't do both.
There is no reason. Well, you might have to choose one if you end up with the hex X. You might have to choose between one or the two, man.
Oh, but the crazy dude, the crazy is so good. Anyway,
Yeah, it's gonna drive you crazy watching bets that you have later that night.
Who needs hot women like stripping in front of the TV set when you're trying to get that third leg of the parlay in? Just get the. Come on, I'm just trying to watch.
It's all fun and games until they don't pull down the rebound at the end when you need it. I mean, come on.
Groovy Caps. I played the Mets first 5 yesterday. Brilliant. Very good.
I wish we did that.
Took the Mets plus 1.5. Yeah, well, you're welcome for us, I guess, pointing you in the direction of that game. And
I mean, we were right about Suarez regressing.
Yes.
Bohm had about 4 different errors, which was a whole separate situation there, which was kind of funny. You have any thoughts on his quote in the middle of the game?
What was it? I can't remember what it was.
I hate it here.
Oh.
I was a fan of it. I thought it was kind of funny.
That's just more of what the kids say. I don't think he was specifically saying there. I think that's
I think he was. I think it was fair for him to say that. I mean, he made a routine play after a bunch of errors, and they gave him the classic sarcastic cheer. And you're gonna have a mic on you the entire time or a camera on you because you're an athlete, and they have angles for everything. I was okay with it. I think Philly fans are okay with it too. It's kind of one of those mutual hatred relationships where the fans, especially in Philly, are going to give it to you if you're struggling. And, you might need to respond with a bit of a chip on your shoulder. It was a moment of honesty. I didn't mind it.
Okay. You don't think that's like right up there with like, fuck my life, like I hate it here?
I think you can make an argument that it kind of is a similar boat, but it's a way of saying I recognize why the crowd is being a pain in the ass and I hate it. All but right. It might encourage him to play better. Who knows?
Fair enough. Ian Toomey says sex with the nutty broad. Always great until your severed penis is chucked into the grass from a moving vehicle.
I'm getting basic instinct.
Shout out to Elena Bobbitt there.
I'm getting basic instinct vibes like the rabbit on the stove. Like that's kind of what I'm getting.
There's some boiling bunny for sure. All right, bud. Hey, let's talk about some NBA. We haven't got to do that really for a couple of days because they were off Monday and the games really didn't matter for the most part. A lot of good live plays on Sunday. Hope you guys were on those. But Scott, let's get it rolling tonight. Let's talk about this game that you and I are both all over. We both did it for our play of the day. Probably would have been a farm play if we wouldn't have taken that. But it's the Clips and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Timberwolves 3-point favorites here. I know you used to express some surprise at that line when you saw it yesterday. Care to extrapolate on your thoughts here as it's pretty much stayed relatively static. It's gone down from 3.5 to 3, but I don't think there's been the kind of movement that you and I might have seen coming. So what do we got here, bud?
Well, I think it's still going to move to 2.5. I think it'll move closer to actual game time. Everybody chasing when they lose on the Nets Cavs game is going to bet the Clippers, right? So I'm expecting an avalanche of Clippers money late. But I took the Clippers as my play today. I really couldn't avoid it. It's one thing to say that Minnesota's disrespected and they're going to come out because they've been good all year. I think they peaked too early because they were playing meaningful games down the stretch and they sucked. I mean, they went 4-6 in their last 10. So they really have not been playing well. Defensively, they've been a disaster for the last couple of weeks. And the Clippers are healthy. They're missing Kawhi Leonard, of course, but Paul George is back. Norman Powell's back. Covington missed some games. He's back too. The team's deep. Do I think Minnesota has a great bench? Not really. But I also want to ask you because spreads and numbers have a hard time quantifying certain things. And I think experience is one of those things. Because the Clippers have been here before. They're in the playoffs every year. A ton of experience. I know D'Angelo Russell had a cup of coffee in the playoffs with the Nets. Towns played 5 games in the playoffs with the Timberwolves. They lost to the Rockets. Beverly's been in some playoff series. That's it, isn't it? I mean, Minnesota has the 7th youngest roster in the league.
Yeah. There's a great future. I mean, you could argue that Minnesota is actually a little bit ahead of schedule even.
That's the point. But you also have a coach who just got an extension who has never been a head coach in a playoff game before. So Do I think Minnesota is worthy of being favored? I can understand at home. I think 3.5 is way too many, and the markets have adjusted as a result. But I do think personally that the lack of experience is concerning, especially when you're laying points against an extreme veteran team. I think that's a problem.
Yeah, it is, and it's hard to overstate what a difference Paul coming back has made. Just a quick thumbnail. In the 7 games before he came back, they averaged about 103, a little bit less than that. In the 7 games since he's been back, they've averaged over 127. Now,
Yeah.
obviously, that's not going to stick. That's pretty extreme, but it does give you a little bit of an insight into his value. To me,
defensively, they're still top 10 though. So even if the offensive numbers aren't sustainable, the current ones,
right?
If you get any uptick at all without compromising your defensive integrity, then you have a massive advantage over Minnesota because Minnesota actually cannot guard anybody.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at this Minnesota defense, it's just been atrocious. I believe because I did this in my play of the day. I did the team total over, as you know, and they've scored or they've allowed 119 or more in 10 of their last 13. The 3 teams they didn't, they played Dallas twice and the Lakers. Jesus, so not good at all. The other thing is, I can't get behind a team that's given up that many points. I don't know that I don't know that the Clippers are necessarily going to put up 125, but I think 120 they cover easily.
I agree, and I think that even though the Clippers money line is an attractive play there, if you want to gamble by margin, the Clippers won 3 of the 4 regular season meetings by at least 11 points. So a lot of these games weren't close. If you think the Clippers have a gear that the Timberwolves do not, and that's the case with me, this game could turn into a rout potentially. You don't even know.
Yeah, I would think, and I'm going to see if I can find it. I would think there'd be a pretty good opportunity for Minnesota or for the Clippers minus 5.5, 4.5.
I'm not going to go nuts and tell you Clippers by 15.5. Like, I don't think it's going to be that much of a murder, but if the Clippers punch Minnesota in the mouth early, am I sure Minnesota's going to respond with all the pressure at home in their first meaningful playoff game in, 4 or 5 years, which was before about half the team was in the league?
Which has a better chance of happening, the Timberwolves winning the game or the Clippers winning by double digits?
Personally, I think it's actually the Clippers. I really don't like Minnesota in this game. And I'm sure the public's all over the Clippers too, so it might be an okie doke, but I really just don't see it. This Minnesota team really matches up horribly against this Clippers team.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at the overall roster. They don't play much defense. Towns is great. I know that. Edwards has been streaky, but he's very talented offensively. And you have D'Angelo Russell, who's also been streaky for the last couple of months. Who else do they have? That's like their entire offense in 3 players, right?
Yes. I'm definitely going to put a sprinkle on the Clippers minus 5 at plus 230.
I mean, do you think that the Timberwolves bench can even stay near the Clippers bench? Because I don't think it's close.
No, and it's a Clippers bench that's had a lot of experience this year as they've had to deal with all the injuries. So,
yeah.
No, if it comes down to the bench play, no.
I mean, you're in a situation where Terrence Mann is now like your 9th man, and he would easily be 6 or 7 on Minnesota.
No question.
The Clippers are loaded. They're deep. They have great coaching. They have experience. They check a lot of boxes you look for, especially getting points in the NBA playoffs.
Yep. Groovy Cap says, "You're too busy with baseball stats all day. We don't have time for women in Brooklyn. We'll wait for women in Long Island during All-Star break."
Yeah, I mean, he knows where his priorities are, man. He knows where they are.
But live betting in baseball is better than high maintenance women in Brooklyn. I can't do the high maintenance. I can't either. I can't wait for fucking 2 hours to go somewhere.
I'm such a low maintenance person as well, so it would go horribly. Give me a TV, a sporting event, and honestly, the drink is optional. Just give me the sporting event, and I'll be fine for a couple hours.
All I need is a cool breeze and some tasty buds, and I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to ask you, how many videos have you done not wearing shorts?
How many videos have I done not wearing shorts?
How many shows with you and I have you done not wearing shorts?
Occasionally it's cold in the room, so I'll wear sweatpants.
Okay.
But it's got to be per video at least minus 3,000 that I'm wearing shorts.
Okay.
Like minus 3,000.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
There's no point. You're only showing the upper torso.
Peter Wolf, I chose the sex once. It was worth every penny. She left me broke. Yeah, it happens. It happens.
That's a negative EV play.
Huh?
That's a negative EV play.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Did you I think Super Sly's quote. No, that's not actually my quote. That's movie that's from, Scott.
Which one?
All I need is a cool breeze, some tasty buds, and I'm fine.
Isn't that also from Dazed and Confused?
No, but it's very a similar time period.
I can imagine McConaughey saying it.
It's Fast Times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's Sean Penn.
Oh, that's right.
Like
Yeah.
Mr. Hand.
Is that during the daydream while he's surfing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's Stu Nahan.
Damn it, Spicoli. Damn it.
Okay. So you and I are both there. You got a feeling on the total?
For the Clippers game?
Yeah.
I like the team total over for the Clippers. The thing is, I think there's only one way Minnesota can win, and that's the over, because they're not going to guard anybody. So I guess I'm leaning to the under, hoping the Clippers slow the pace down. They should, because Minnesota has been an up-tempo team all season long. The Clippers have not been. But I'm going to go with the under, because I do believe in a playoff atmosphere where the possessions mean a little bit more. The referees might swallow their whistles a little bit more. I do think this total's a bit high. You?
I'm with you. I've got the team total over, and I like the under in this game. We're threading the needle, but I think we've got a pretty big eye of the needle there to get that thread through, because
it could be an okie doke once again, but Minnesota's just been so underwhelming for the last couple of games. Like, I don't like much about this team. I like the future, but I think they might be a year early.
Yeah, agreed. You lose money chasing women, never lose women chasing money.
Wow. That's deep, man.
Put that on a plaque.
Wow.
I'll put that.
Should have been my yearbook quote. Wow. Okay. That's something. Wow. Okay.
That would have been a great yearbook quote. Probably wouldn't want to sign any women that you were interested in getting with. You wouldn't want to sign their yearbook with that quote, but
I was never going to see him again anyway. So,
when you line up like that, it looks like you've got like a spanky spike of hair right above your head.
Do I?
Move your head to the right a little bit. No, just tilt your whole head. No,
I don't know what the hell's happening. Okay,
right there, that shot right there,
right here. Okay,
it looks like you got a spike sticking up out of your hair.
Okay.
It's not really there. It's the poster. It's the back.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right.
That's my faux hawk.
So we talked. You're right. Your faux hawk. It's all right. So we talked. We're all in agreement here. If it's an okie doke, we're shoving bananas in the tailpipe all night because we both like the Clippers.
They're peaking at the right time, and Minnesota's not.
Yeah, we both like the under. The other game, we talked a little bit about it up top. That's your Nets, Scott. I think we both agree 9.5 is too many.
I think it is. You can make an argument the Nets will be motivated, whatever the hell that means, because they were playing meaningful games to get to the 7th seed in the first place. But I watched them play the last couple of weeks, and they win games. Are they impressive? No. Do they win by margin? No. I mean, they couldn't cover against Houston. They couldn't cover against Indiana. They were laying 16 against Indiana. It was a 2-point game in the fourth quarter. Like, at some point, you got to realize this team's more focused on winning games than covering or looking impressive during the course of games.
Right.
They might flip a switch. They might maybe look at it. They might be able to go to another gear Cleveland doesn't have. But I really like Cleveland for the fact that nobody's picking them. So they kind of can just go in free, no pressure at all.
Right.
All the pressure is on the Nets, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. And Cleveland's been playing the disrespect card in their locker room for the last.
That's the whole story of their season's the disrespect card.
Yeah. And that's a Cleveland defense that is pretty damn good, Scott.
It's not as good without Jared Allen.
I agree. And that's again, I kind of talked myself out of it last night when I was doing my video without Jared Allen there. But I'm right back at 9.5, thinking that's fucking too many. So Nathan Cerna said other channels like the Wolves. Other channels. You're cheating on us, dude.
Traitor. No, I mean, if you like the Wolves, the main reason why is they're good at home and the Clippers suck on the road.
Yep.
But when you're missing your best player for 90% of the season and he comes back and you trade for one of the best bench players in the league in Norman Powell, one of the most underrated bench scorers in the league, and he helps out your bench unit, I don't want to say you can throw everything out the window, but the Clippers have dominated the regular season meetings.
Are you reading these comments?
A lot of fun. A lot of fun in the comment section.
Just
today.
The best. I can't even keep up.
It's good stuff.
Two things bring a man to his knees: a whiskey glass and a piece of ass.
That's also a good yearbook quote.
If that's not a country song, it certainly is.
That sounds like something that would be on the back of a Kid Rock album.
Oh man, that quote was from Chris Rock. I think I love my wife.
Chris
Okay.
Rock, Kid Rock, you know,
It's one of the
similar,
Rocks.
close enough. Whatever.
Are they related?
They look alike.
I don't think
they have the same hair.
And Bronco Devil said, "There's other channels." Yeah,
I think Kid Rock had a new album come out like a little while ago. I don't know if anyone listened to it, but I'm pretty sure it came out.
Yeah, I know. I was looking at that the other day. In all seriousness, I'll absolutely encourage you to listen to other channels.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing that we preach is to get information or as
all
much
the
as
information
you can.
you can. Yes.
So
yes.
we might forget something. We're not telling you to only listen to us. I mean, we think the information we give is pretty good, but
that would be a cult.
Yeah.
There are no other channels. There are no other channels. There is only us. CERN is a member of Stephen A. Smith's OnlyFans. Fuck, these guys.
I'm actually curious if there is a platform out there or some people who were giving away their gambling picks on OnlyFans. I was curious if there was a market for that. Kind of like Patreon.
Yeah,
but instead of nudes, it's just a picture of like a white screen that just says like Cavs plus 8.5. Like, I'm curious if that was actually like a way you could do it. I don't know.
No, I think if the person, let's be honest, it's probably going to be a female. I think if she's naked reading the pics, now you got something.
I'm just saying, people might just want the pics.
Maybe you should try it. You should just strip down, do an OnlyFans.
No, I'm saying you don't even have to be nude. It's just like $5. Like, here you go, OnlyFans. Here's
hear me
picture
out.
of the day. It's just a picture of a spread. It's just
you're naked. You do it seductively. I'd let the Warriors go to war on me.
Oh, so now it's an ASMR video, like
sort of, yeah.
Some turns. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
It's called. I'm trying to think of it's Bet the Farm ASMR edition. Like Bet the Farm ASMR. There you go. That's the slogan right there. That's what you got.
We've covered the basketball game. We've blathered our way through the rest of the show. Give me your favorite baseball play tonight, buddy.
Oh, there's baseball on today? Yeah, sure. I feel like nobody cares about the baseball card, but to go through the overall card, I like Tampa today. I know they got killed yesterday.
Okay.
But
they're due.
It's one that's not even their due. It's a matter of they're a good team. They got embarrassed. Good teams usually respond and kick the crap out of the opposing team. It's a pitching matchup between two guys you've never heard of. It's Romero against Fowler.
Okay, sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
I trust the Rays prospects more than Oakland's prospects. But after getting killed yesterday, I think Tampa's in a good spot to just get back, maybe to, let's just say, deal with some anger and to win that game handily. I don't mind them on the run line.
Okay. Give me St. Louis on the run line.
I assumed you're all over the Cooch today.
I didn't
getting plus money against the Yankees.
No.
No? Not at all?
I'd consider it. Fucking the Yankees have so many right-handed bobbers, though, man.
Yeah. Nathan, that's my point, though. Tampa got humiliated. They're a good team. They might have walked into Oakland thinking, all right, we're going to sweep again. But they lost. They got humbled a little bit. And they come out and smack them.
Yeah, I like fading the Royals tonight simply because number one is Daniel Lynch going. So that's always something that's going to get my attention as far as he's the number 5 starter.
That combo, though, Lynch into Coer? Woo!
Well, that's going to be, and that's the main reason I want to fade the Royals tonight is the fact that bullpen is absolutely gassed. And spoiler alert, a lot of those guys appear to be not very good. So I think with Daniel Hudson going against Lynch, I'm all over the cards here. You're getting a pretty good price.
You mean Dakota Hudson?
Or Dakota Hudson? Sorry, right? Daniel Lynch. Yeah,
you said
Dakota.
Daniel. I'm like, are they doing openers already? It's the first 3 games into the season.
Yeah, no. So yeah, I'll take St. Louis on the run line there. That's my favorite. So, All right, boys, let's get to it here, shall we? We thought we had a little something yesterday, and we should have. It was a nice plus money play. Sometimes it doesn't work out. You guys know how that works. So we're back at it, Scott. Let's find out who it is today as we put on our overalls. We adjust our straw hats at a rakish angle and get ready to climb aboard our John Deere. Fire that bad boy up. And Scott, it's Tuesday. Let's get ready to bet the farm. All right. So, yeah, I was not coordinated there.
I was going to say, I thought you were supposed to put the photo up.
There it is. All right, there, huh?
First try, nailed it.
All right, there. It's like magic. Good afternoon,
There you
everybody.
go. Howdy. All right.
All right. So these are going to be our anti-hex hats now, Scott. We've got a hex to beat. So it's got to be a good one, buddy. What do you got cooked up?
Well, I did my player prop show, so I'm going to take a player prop.
Okay.
It's going to be in a matchup between the Clippers and the Timberwolves. We're going to go with Patrick Beverly under 10.5 points at -130 on DraftKings. Couple reasons why. First of all, this number is way too high based on the overall season numbers. Beverly is only averaged 9.2 points per game during the regular season. On top of that, he has scored less than 11 points in each of his last 9 games. So he's been going under this number regularly. On top of that, he played the Clippers 4 times in the regular season. He scored less than 11 points in 3 of those meetings. The one time he went over, he scored exactly 11. So he's not done too well offensively. And in April, small sample size, but still, he's been terrible. He is shooting 31.6% from the floor and 14.3% from 3. We know that Beverly's there for defense, and we know he's there to provide a bit of swagger to the team. Offensively, he's not going to shoot much. We know that he's really not going to be one of the main focal points of this team. They have Towns, they have Edwards, they have Russell. Beverly's probably going to take, what do you think, like 5 shots in this game? 5-6 shots?
That's what I'm banking on, yeah.
But 10.5 is way too high for a guy that doesn't go to the line that much. He's been shooting terribly, and he's gone under this number in 9 straight. We're going to take the under.
There you go. That's going to do it for the Bet the Farm play for today. And that's going to do it for the Thursday edition of Back to the Window with Scott and Scott. As always, we appreciate you guys stopping by. Really appreciate all the comments, and keep the funny stuff coming because perfect. Just excellent stuff out there. You guys have a great day. Good luck on all your plays. Once again, if you're in KC and you're at the Santana concert, come say, hey, Scott, hope you win them all tonight. Good luck to the Nets. You guys, we'll do it again tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, as we all do our very best to help you guys in your journey to head back to the